Well, so far we have gone through the number of videos, and in all the numbers of in the videos we have gone in detail about the electric field, electric flux, and Gauss law and its applications. We have gone through all these things through our previous videos. After knowing all these things, now we will solve some of the problems. Some of the problems based on this. What are the formula I got and what are the concepts we got from that chapter electric field and electric flux and Gauss law, its applications. Okay. So well students, so today I will try to do solve more number of problems. I will try. So let me do one by one problems. Okay. So the question is that, see the first question. A pith ball of mass 10 to the power minus 6 kg carries a charge of 10 microcoulomb. Right? So I have drawn this figure also. So see here. This is a pith ball of charge 10 to the power 10 microcoulomb, and the mass of the pith ball is 10 to the minus 6 kg. What must be the charge on a pith ball? This pith ball. Place the 5 cm directly above the pith ball. It is placed. How much is the distance? 5 cm from this pith ball. First one is Q1, second one is Q2, which is placed at a distance 5 cm above the pith ball such that they are held in equilibrium. What do you mean by equilibrium? Net force is equal to 0. That is the equilibrium. So in this we have relate two things. What are the two things? One is a pith ball. Suppose you take a pith ball, first one is Q1, and it has a mass. Because of mass, there is a gravitational force acting on this one, and due to the gravity, the pith ball Q1 will come forward with a force is mg. Because of this mass, that is the gravitational force already know in your gravitation. But because of another pith ball having some charge, because of that charge factor, there is a electrostatic force of interaction arises between the charge bodies. So this electrostatic force between the two charges should be balanced by the weight of this. Means it will fall down because of its weight, and this charge particle having some charge Q2, because of these two charge bodies, there will be a electrostatic force of interaction. So, if it is downward, this force should be upward so that it will be in equilibrium. This body will be in equilibrium. It will balance. So, in that concept, what we will say? To be in equilibrium, what is the electrostatic force between these two charges Q1 and Q2 should be balanced by the weight of this charge body. And what is the electrostatic force of interaction? Fe should be balanced by the force of gravity. Force due to gravity. So as you know, from Coulomb's law, the force of interaction between these two charged bodies Q1 and Q2 separated by a distance r is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. This is in SI 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by r square. That should be equal to the weight of this pith ball of charge Q1. M is the mass and G is the acceleration due to gravity. So here all the things are given. What are given? You write it here. You know about 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Q1 is given. R is given. Mass of this pith ball is given, and acceleration due to gravity is known. So you have to calculate this Q2. So to find out this Q2, you can write this is equal to 9 into 10 to the power 9, value of 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, into this Q1, 10 microcoulomb. Make this as coulomb. Minus 6, 10 microcoulomb. Equal to 10 into 10 to the minus 6 coulomb. Into Q2. Divided by R square. R is the distance between these two charges, that is 5 cm, which is in a CGA system. I will make this in SI. So 5 into 10 to the power minus 2 meter square is equal to, what is the mass of this leaf ball? 10 to the power minus 6 kg into G, 9.8. Now you solve this one. What you get? Your Q2 should be equal to, the Q2 value you get by solving 2.72 into 10 to the power minus 13 coulomb. Dear students, you solve this and you will get the answer like this. Okay?
Another problem. Suppose an oil drop of weight. Suppose oil drop is this one. Weight is given 3.2 × 10⁻³ Newton is balanced in an electric field of strength. So here given the weight of the oil drop is 3.2 × 10⁻³ Newton, whereas it is balanced, it is no net force acting on the oil drop, so that the weight is balanced by the weight is balanced by the electrostatic force. That is why weight is given 3.2 × 10⁻³ Newton is balanced by electrostatic force. Electrostatic force experienced by the charge drop, that is what the oil drop. Then question asks, what is the charge? Suppose Q in an electric field, E is equal to 5 × 10⁵ volt per meter, or sometimes it is Newton per coulomb. So now substitute here. Weight is given 3.2 × 10⁻³0. Force is equal, that is about Q and E. That is what Q in neat. Q is equal to 3.2 × 10⁻³ divided by E. E will be 5 × 10⁵. And solving this one, we will find it is 0.64 into 10⁻18 coulomb. Clear? So in the same question, oil drop is balanced, its weight is balanced by the electrostatic force. Electrostatic force will be QE. You need Q, so that Q will be 0.64 into 10⁻18 coulomb. Clear? Another question, another example. 2 point charges. One is 6 microcoulomb, another is 8 microcoulomb, are 20 centimeter apart in vacuum. Question asks, what is the magnitude of electric field strength produced by either charge at the side of other? See here, suppose two charges like one Q1, another suppose Q2 to be placed at A and B. Clear? And Q1 is how much? Q1 is 6 microcoulomb. How much is Q2? 8 microcoulomb. Clear? They are separated by distance. Suppose R is equal to 20 cm. So question is asked, what is the magnitude of electric field produced by either charge on the side of other means? Because see, as you consider Q1 is the source charge, its field to be determined at B point. Similarly, on the same way, if you take here Q2 is the source charge, its field to be determined at A. That is the answer. Suppose here, let's suppose E1 be the electric field strength at the point B due to Q1 charge. What is E1? E1 is the electric field strength at the point B due to Q1 charge. It is 1/4πε0 Q1 divided by R square. Clear? So 1/4πε0 is 9 × 10⁹. Multiplied by Q1 is 6 microcoulomb. It is to be converted into SI unit. Divided by R square, it is 20 × 10⁻² the square. Solving this one, we will find the answer around 0.135 × 10⁻⁷ Newton per coulomb. Clear? In this similar way, we just determine electric field strength at the point A due to Q2 charge. It is 1/4πε0 Q2 divided by R square. Clear? It is 9 × 10⁹ multiplied by Q2 how much? 8 microcoulomb divided by distance 20 × 10⁻². Solving this one, we will find 0.18 × 10⁻7 Newton per coulomb. So that is why electric field strength produced by either charge, because it produces electric field, so also it produces electric field. Its electric field at A to be determined and the field of Q1 to be determined at B. That is the question. Clear? On to the next question.
So now you see this one. Question number 4. 2-point charges 5 microcoulomb and minus 5 microcoulomb are located 10 cm apart in free space. Let me draw that. See, 2-point charges 5 microcoulomb and minus 5 microcoulomb are located 10 cm apart. Are located 10 cm apart in free space. Calculate the electric field intensity at the midpoint of the line joining the two charges. Which is the line joining the two charges? Suppose A, B. The line joining the two charges is AB. And at the midpoint, suppose O. So if it is the midpoint, so this distance is 5 cm. A to O. Similarly, O to B is also 5 cm. That is the midpoint. Now you calculate the electric field intensity at the midpoint. Now, see how to find out this electric field. What you will do first thing? This is the charge, suppose 5 microcoulomb. The 5 microcoulomb will produce an electric field at O. What is the direction of this one? Electric field due to 5 microcoulomb. E1 away from this one. AO. For minus 5 microcoulomb, what is the electric field at O? E2. What is the direction of this one? Along that charge, towards the charge, OB, towards P. So, E1 and E2 are the two electric fields produced by 5 microcoulomb and minus 5 microcoulomb, which are in the same direction. To calculate the net electric field intensity at O, as you know, there are two vectors, two electric fields acting in the same direction. What will be the resultant of these two? So for E1 and E2, if you calculate this one, so this E1 will be equal to, because of 5 microcoulomb, as per your formula, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Q is 5 microcoulomb. 5 into 10 to the minus 6 divided by Q by R square. What is this R? 5 cm, 5 meter square. What is this direction? Along AO. Got it? Then the electric field due to this minus 5 microcoulomb at O E2 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 5 into 10 to the power minus 6. I am only taking only the magnitude part. Minus 5 I have considered this is 5. I have to give the direction here. 5 into 10 to the minus 6 into same distance R square at the midpoint. So 5 into 10 to the minus 6 square along what direction? OB. The net electric field is equal to, as you know, the two vectors are acting in the same direction, two forces around two vectors are acting in the same direction. The resultant field should be equal to E1 plus E2. And if you find out this E1 plus E2, by solving this one you will get, you will come out as 36 into 10 to the power 6 Newton or Coulomb along what direction? See here, along AO, along OB, both are in the same direction, so you can write along OB. Or you can say along AO. That is the resultant electric field. Okay.
Next question. A positive point charge of 20 × 10⁻⁶ coulomb is placed 1 meter away from a negative charge of 20 × 10⁻⁶ coulomb. Then calculate the electric field intensity at a point 1 meter from each charge. 1 meter from each charge. See here. Suppose the positive charge, that is 20 × 10⁻⁶ coulomb, is placed 1 meter apart. 1 meter apart from the negative charge 20 × 10⁻⁶ coulomb. But what to calculate here? Electric field intensity at a point 1 meter from each charge. Means you choose a point which is 1 meter from plus q and also minus q. That means what? If you find a point, that is sometimes the point is called a equatorial point, choose the point P which is at a distance. The point P is at a distance 1 meter from plus q, so also 1 meter from minus q. Clear? So the P is the point where electric field to be determined, which is 1 meter from plus q charge, so also 1 meter from minus q charge. It is very simple. It is an equilateral triangle. This angle is at 60, this is 60, this is about 60. Now, suppose E1 be the electric field strength at peak due to plus q charge. That is E1 is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q divided by r. Let's say it is r square. Means what? Here plus the point consider, that is unit positive charge, plus repulsion away from the point. Let's say it is E1. 9 × 10⁹ multiplied by q. Q is what? 20 × 10⁻⁶ divided by r square, means 1 square. It is very simple. 18 × 10 to the power 10, it is 6/4 Newton per coulomb. Similarly, if you take E to be the electric field strength at the point P due to negative charge minus 20 × 10⁻⁶, it will be same 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q divided by r square. The same result, 18 × 10⁴ Newton per coulomb. Clear? See, the direction of E2 is from P towards, suppose it is A and B, P towards B. This is the direction of E2. Then angle between E1 and E2 is how much? 120 degree. Therefore, by superposition principle, the net electric field strength at the point P, due to the two charges, is given by E is equal to root over of E1 square plus of E2 square plus of 2 E1 E2 cos 120 degree. That is what? E1, magnitude of E1 is equal to E2. So that is just write here. E1 square plus of E1 square plus 2 E1 square multiplied by minus half. So it will be simply E1, or the result will be 18 × 10⁴ Newton per coulomb. Clear? The answer will be 18 × 10⁴ Newton per coulomb. Clear? Another example. Another example, say there is an electric field in the x direction. Suppose this is x direction. If work done in moving, W work done in moving a charge, suppose Q is equal to 0.2 coulomb through a distance. Suppose distance is now displaced by doing work. How much is the work done? 4 joule. Clear? See? Even if there is an electric field in x direction, electric field is in x direction. If work done in moving a charge of 0.2 through a distance of 2 meter along the line, making an angle along the line making an angle of how much? 60 degree. Making an angle of 60 degree means force is applied along this direction. So that we just write, we have to find out electric field intensity. What is the magnitude of electric field intensity? So it is very clear that magnitude of field intensity means already you know that what is the dot product of force and displacement, or you just write it is Fs cos theta. F means what? QE. S cos of angle theta. What is Q? 0.2. What is E? You need to find. What is S? It is 2. What is cos theta? Cos of 60. It is cos of 60 is half. So this is now cancelling. Or about what is W? W is equal to 4 joule. So here 2 to cancel, we will find E is equal to 4 divided by 0.2. It is about your 20 Newton per Coulomb. So this is what you are done in displacing the charge through a distance in electric field whose magnitude will be determined 20 Newton per Coulomb. Clear? Next we will proceed.
Next question comes here. 2 point charges plus in Q and minus 2Q are located at x equal to 0 and x is equal to L respectively. That means plus 8Q is at x equal to 0, minus 2Q is at x equal to L. It means the separation between these two charges plus 8Q and minus 2Q is L. Is it not? Because this like plus 8Q is at x equal to 0 and this one is at x is equal to L. That is given. What is the location of a point on the x-axis? Because they are on the x-axis. This is my x-axis. What is the location of a point on the x-axis? Two is the net electric field due to these point charges is 0. Let us consider a point P, which is at a distance of x from the charge minus 2. Let this point P, why I have considered the point P here? Let's see here, why I have considered this point P outside this line joining the two charges. Because of this cross 8Q, at the point P, what will be the direction of electric field? Because of cross 8Q, this is the direction. Suppose E1. Then what is this E1? E1 is equal to cross 8Q. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square. R is what? It is L plus X. The point P is here. So L plus X whole square along. Like here, suppose A, B along B to P. This side. Because of charge minus 2Q. What is the electric field at P? E2. What is this direction? Because of minus 2Q, the electric field is toward the charge minus 2Q. Now you see here, two electric fields. E1 at the point P is along the direction B to P. Due to the charge minus 2Q at P is towards B to P. They are in opposite direction, so that the angle between them is 180. So that they will give you a resultant of electric field 0. So that's why I consider this point P is outside this point. So E2, now we find out this E2, the electric field at P due to this minus 2Q, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Take the magnitude of this one, only 2Q by, what is the distance from point P? x square along opposite of this one p to p. Now the question is what is the location of the point? This location of this point means what is this x? To be what is the point? What is this value of x? So that the net electric field due to these point charges is 0. The net electric field at this point is 0. Means E1 and E2 are opposite. So E1 should be magnitude of E1 is equal to E2. Net electric field. Or in vector form we can say net electric field E1 vector plus E2 vector should be equal to 0. If you find in magnitude form, the angle between them is 180. So you will get by solving this E1 minus E2 magnitude of resultant of this one. E1 minus E2 is equal to 0, or you can say E1 is equal to E2. By doing this E1 is equal to E2, if you solve this one, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 8q by L plus x raw whole square, that should be equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2q by x square. Now by solving this one, you will get x is equal to your L. You will get x is equal to L. So it means what? The point P should be at a distance of L. At a distance of L from the charge minus 2q. Or the point P should be at a distance of 2L from the charge 8q. Right? So this is about your solution of this. Right?
Another question. A oil drop of 24 excess electrons is held stationary under a constant electric field of this excess electrons. Suppose n is the excess number of electrons, it is 24. Had stationary means no net. Suppose this is the oil drop having excess number of electrons n, so that charge acquired by that oil drop is q is equal to ne. Clear? Held stationary means its weight is balanced by the electric force which is given now. Stationary under a constant electric field of 10 to 5 volt per meter. In oil drop experiment, clear? Then the density of the liquid, oil drop, that is the liquid density of viscous liquid is given. Rho is equal to 9171 kilogram per meter cube. Estimate the radius of this is spherical insert, so it's the radius. To find its radius, provided z value is given 10 meter per second square. Keep in mind, weight of the drop W is equal to mg. Since you know that density is equal to mass by volume, volume means spherical shape, 4 by 3 pi r cube. So instead of m, you just write here, or in place W is equal to m means how much? 4 by 3 pi r cube. 4 by 3 pi r cube multiplied by rho is about your m, and multiplied z, that is what the weight. But according to question, since it is held stationary, then obviously the weight of that is balanced by electrostatic force. It is W is equal to electrostatic force is QE. Q is already known, that is what QE means NE and capital E. Or implies here R, that is what 4 by 3 pi R cube multiplied by rho multiplied Z is equal to NEE. Clear? Your aim is to find out R cube, implies R cube is equal to, see here, R cube is equal to 3NEE divided by multiplication 3NEE divided by 4 pi multiplied by rho multiplied by z. This is about your R cube. And R is equal to, obviously after getting the value of R, that is R cube, you just find it is cube root of 3LEE divided by 4 pi rho into G. Give it students. Here all the values. L is given 24. E is already known 1.6 10 to the minus 19. Capital E is given 10 to the 5. Pi value is known. Density is given. G is given. So that answer is unsolving this one. You will get the answer around 10 to the power minus 6 meter. Clear? Substitute the known values here. Evaluating that one. Finally you get R is equal to 10 to the minus 6 meter. Clear? Next another question. Two electric dipoles, movements P and 64P. Suppose two electric dipoles, one, suppose A1 B1, its dipole moment P1 is equal to suppose P. Another A2 B2, of dipole moment is given 64P. Clear? And are placed opposite direction on a line at a distance of 25 centimeter. Clear? Next, calculate the distance from the dipole of dipole moment, means from the first dipole. Calculate the distance. See, these are separated. So choose a point. Suppose point to be chosen here. Suppose point is O, which is at a distance x from the center of the first dipole, and obviously that point O is at a distance of 25 minus x from the center of the second dipole of dipole moment 64P. Your aim is to find out x. And again given where the net electric field strength 0, means net electric field strength at O will be 0, in the sense the electric field produced by first dipole at the point O is equal and opposite to that of second one. That is already known that for a short dipole, electric field on the axis is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught 2p 1 by r cube. R cube here how much? X cube. P is how much? V1 is P. Similarly, it equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught 2 P means here 64P divided by distance is 25 minus x whole cube. So similar terms to be cancelled on both sides. 4 pi 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2p cancel, and here remaining 1 by x rho whole cube is equal to 4 by 25 minus x rho whole cube, or implies 1 by x is equal to 4 divided by 25 minus x, or implies you will now solving 25 minus x is equal to 4x, implies x is equal to 5. It is in cm, so it is in cm also. That means the point O along the line joining the centers of two dipoles where net electric field is 0, and it is at a distance 5 centimeter from first and remaining 20 centimeter from the second.
Then the next is that charge is distributed along the x-axis. From the charge is distributed along the x-axis from x equal to 0 to x equal to 50 cm. Charge is distributed along the x-axis. This is the x-axis from 0 to 50 cm. Means in a length of 50 cm, this charge is distributed in such a way that its linear charge density is given by lambda. The linear charge density. What is the linear charge density? Charge per unit length. So linear charge density is given by lambda equal to x, where a is equal to given, this a is given, the value of a is given. That is a constant. Means lambda is equal to x, lambda depends on x, but there is a constant a. That is given. Calculate the total charge in the region x equal to 0 to 50. Calculate the total charge in the region x equal to 0 to 50 cm. Right. So line between x equal to 0 to 50. To find this one, go through the formula of linear charge density lambda. If dq amount of charge in a length of dx, dq by dx, that will be my lambda. linear charge density. That is a formula. And definition already we have gone through the definition. dq charge in dx, then dq is equal to lambda dx. So we can write this is equal to dq is equal to the small charge dq in a length dx is equal to the linear charge density into dx. Now put like this, dq is equal to what is your lambda? Lambda is equal to your ax. So ax dx. What is your variable here? Dx is variable. X is variable. X changes from where to where? 0 to 50. So to find out the net charge within this region x equal to 0 to 50, what I will do? Integrating both sides. From x is equal to 0 to x is equal to 50. That is variable. So the integration of dq from 0 to q, suppose q amount of charge. So q is equal to a is constant. Outside integration. Integration of x dx with limits 0 to 50 cm. Right? So you can make this 50 cm in meter 10 to the power minus 2 because I will take this as in SI 2 meter. So this is the limit. So to solve this one, q is equal to a x dx, integration of x dx is equal to x square by 2 with limits 0 to 50 into 10 to the power minus 2 meter. This is equal to a is given 18 microcoulomb per meter cube. That's why it is meter cube, so that's why I have made this meter. Otherwise, I will in cm, I will take this in 0 to 50 cm. But it is in meter, so a is equal to 18 microcoulomb, make it coulomb, minus 6 coulomb. 18 into 10 to the power minus 6 coulomb per meter cube. X square by 2, make this 2 like this, 2 x square, put this x square means what? Upper limit 10 to the power minus 2 x whole square, upper limit minus lower limit 0. If you solve this one, you get q is equal to, the value is 2.25 into 10 to the power minus 6 coulomb, or you can say this is equal to 2.25 minus 6 microcoulomb. Okay, so this is about your answer of the question.
Another question. 64 drops of radius 0.02 meter and each carrying a charge of 5 microcoulomb are combined to form a bigger drop. In mind, suppose these are what? The small drops, like small identical drops. How many drops? 64 given. Combined to form 64 means each radius. Suppose radius of small drop is smaller, that is 0.02 meter, and each charge of 5 microcoulomb, that is 5 into 10 to the minus 6 coulomb. They combine to form a bigger one. Suppose they combine to form a bigger one. Let's say the radius of big drop is capital R. That is clear that volume of the bigger sphere nothing but 64 times the volume of small. That means what? According to question, 64 multiplied by volume of small drop is equal to volume of big drop. Clear? So though a sphere, its volume is 4 by 3 pi r cube is equal to volume of big 4 by 3 pi capital R cube. Similar term we can say, and you just find R is equal to here 4R. So capital R is equal to 4R, and it is clear 4R means here R is given how much? 4 multiplied by 0.02, it is 0.08 and meter. So that is about your radius of bigger one. But now question asks, find how the surface charge density of electrification will change. Suppose already you know that surface charge density is charge distributed per unit area. So charge distributed per unit area means suppose symbolize surface charge density is sigma. For the smaller drop, let's say it is sigma 1. It is charge distributed per unit area. Area means what? 4 pi r square, because area of sphere is 4 pi r square. So sigma 1 is the surface charge density of smaller drop. Similarly, let's say sigma 2 be the surface charge density of bigger one. Bigger one means what is the total charge? Total charge is n into q. N means 64. 64 into q, because there is no loss of charge. So 64q divided by 4 pi r cube. Capital R is the radius of big one. So you have to compare here sigma 1 and sigma 2. It is clear, see 64q divided by 4 pi multiplied by r cube means r is 4r, 4r of cube. It is 64q divided by 4 pi multiplied by, again, how much? It is, very sorry, it is what your square, because charge is in the area 4 pi r square, 4r square, it is 16 r square. So you have to compare. Now what happened? Sigma 1 by sigma 2. This divided by this factor, the answer will be 1 upon 4. You divide this one, divide by this, we will find sigma 1 by sigma 2 is 1 upon 4. So this what? Comparison without any loss of charge. Clear? Come to another problem. What charge would be required to electrify a sphere? To electrify a sphere of radius 50 cm so as to get a surface charge density of, keep in mind, the radius of the sphere is given 50 cm, 50 into 10 to the minus 2 meter, and the surface charge density of the sphere is given 3.8 coulomb per meter square. And what to find here? Charge. How much charge that it required so as to electrify it of charge density this one. As you know, surface charge density is equal to charge distributed per area. Charge distributed area means here 4 pi r square, area of the sphere, and here q is equal to 4 pi r square multiplied by sigma. See here 4 pi r square means 50 into 10 to the minus 2, the square multiplied by sigma is how much? 3.8. Solving this one, we will find the result 11.93 and coulomb. That is what this much is the charge. If you distribute over the sphere of radius 50 cm to charge it of density 3.8 coulomb per meter square. Clear?
The next question is an electric dipole of length 8 cm means the dipole length given 8 cm. Then this dipole length is 12. To equal and opposite charges separated by a distance, small distance, 12 dipole length. Every time this is 12, that is equal to 8 cm. Means I will get the minus 2 meters. When placed with its axis making an angle of 60 degrees with a uniform electric field, the electric field and the dipole, positive or minus 2, dipole, separated by distance 12, makes an angle of 60 degrees. So theta is equal to 60 degrees. So theta is equal to your 60 degree. angle of 60 degree with a uniform electric field. Experience a torque. Tau. What is the torque? Tau is equal to 8√3 Newton meter. Calculate the two parts are there. There are two parts. Calculate the magnitude of the electric field intensity. First part I will do magnetic field, magnitude of the electric field intensity. Now, as you know, torque acting on a dipole tau. What is the formula? The magnitude of the torque tau is equal to P cross E, E sin theta. What is this P? Dipole moment. What is the dipole moment? P is equal to Q into 2L. Either charge and separation between the two charges. That is the dipole moment, P. So tau is equal to P sin theta. Everything is given. And what is your Q? In the second part it is given. Potential energy of the dipole, if the dipole has charges of this much, plus or minus. One charge is plus 4 microcoulomb and another is minus 4 microcoulomb. So you can say angle of the charge is equal to 4 microcoulomb. Right? So it is 4 microcoulomb. Right? Sorry, it is not micro, it is nanocoulomb. Take this nanocoulomb, the question is given nanocoulomb. So it is Q is equal to 4 nanocoulomb. So 4 nanocoulomb means you can say 4 into 10 to the power minus 9 coulomb. Q is given. So tau is equal to P sin theta. Now put here. This is equal to what is Q? P. Q 12 E sin theta. That is tau. Put this tau. 8 into 8√3 is equal to what is Q? 4 into 10 to the power minus 9. What is 12? 8 into 10 to the power minus 2 meter. See, all are in the same unit. Q 12 E. We have to calculate this E. Magnitude of the electric field intensity. We will calculate E into sin theta is how much? 60. Sin 60. If you put all these things and after solving this, you will get E is equal to, all these things you will put, you will get E is equal to 5 into 10 to the power 10. 5 into 10 to the power 10. Newton or coulomb. Put all these values. 4 multiply these 2. E need to calculate. Sin 60 is √3 by 2. To solve this, we will get E is equal to this one. Okay, so I got this first magnitude of the electric field intensity. Next part, second. In the second is also same thing is that already gone through the potential energy of the dipole. Let us calculate what is the, it is asked about the potential energy of the dipole. Put that formula, already gone through the potential energy formula. The potential energy of the dipole Q is equal to minus PE cos theta. Minus PE cos theta. Already gone through this video. Last video you know that what is minus sign. Force is attractive, so potential is negative. I am not going in detail about this thing. I know the formula U is equal to potential is equal to minus PE sin theta. And if you put this U, value of P, or the dipole moment P is equal to Q into 12. That is minus Q 12 E cos 60 degree. This is half. Put all these values, everything, you will get U is equal to minus 8 Joule. If you value put all these values, you will get U is equal to minus 8 Joule. Got it? So this is about your solution of this question number 13.
Next question. An infinite line charge. Suppose this is an infinite line charge produces a field, the space region around its field of E is equal to 9 into 10 to the 4 Newton per coulomb at a distance. Suppose R is equal to 4 centimeter, that is 4 into 10 to the minus 2 meter. Calculate the linear charge density symbolized lambda. Already know that the electric field strength at a point r distance from a line charge is given by E is equal to lambda divided by 2 pi epsilon naught r. If you just rearrange this one, 2 to be multiplied and to be divided, now to become 4 pi epsilon naught and r. Your aim is to find out lambda, so that it is E is given, E is equal to 9 into 10 to the 4 is equal to 2. Lambda you need to find, divide by, see here, 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught is 9 into 10 to the 9. It is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. 2 multiply lambda divided by r. R is given 4 multiplied by 10 to the minus 2. Solving this, we will find the result. What the question asked, linear charge density is 2 into 10 to the power minus 7 coulomb per meter. It is coulomb per meter. Clear? So this is the formula for a related field strength at a point due to linear charge by linear charge distribution, and linear charge density is now 2 into 10 to the minus 7 coulomb per meter. Clear? Come to another question. It is given a charge particle having a charge. Suppose charge particle is Q having a charge minus 3 microcoulomb. It is minus 3 into 10 to the minus 6 coulomb. Is placed very close to a seat. Already you know that. Suppose this is a plain seat and charge placed near. Suppose charge is placed some distance, Q is placed some distance from the plain seat charge, having a surface charge density. Surface charge density of the seat is sigma. Sigma is given how much? 5 into 10 to the minus 6 coulomb per meter square. Find the force of attraction between the particle, that means particle of charge Q, and the seat. Since they are separated by a distance, what about the distance? Already know that the electric field strength is independent of the distance from the seat of the charge. It is clear. To find the force obviously what? Force experienced by the charge particle placed in the field of this seat, it is QE. QE is what? Already know that the expression for electric field strength at a point due to plane seat charge, it is sigma divided by 2 epsilon naught. That is F. All in place, F is equal to Q is how much? 3 into 10 to the minus 6. No need to substitute the negative sign to find out the magnitude. Multiplied by sigma. How much is sigma? 5 into 10 to the minus 6 divided by 2. The standard value of epsilon naught is known, 8.85 into 10 to the minus 12. And solving this one, we will find the force of about 0.847 Newton, and the nature of force is attractive. The nature of force is attractive. Clear? So this is about the force experienced by charge when placed nearby a charged seat. Clear?
The next question is given here. If an electric field E is equal to 3 I cap minus 4 j cap plus 5 k cap, that is an electric field is given in vector form. Electric field. Calculate the electric flux through a surface of area 30 units. This is the magnitude of the area in YZ plane. The area is in YZ plane. Right? So now, to calculate this, let me write the electric field E is equal to given 3 I cap minus 4 j cap plus 5 k cap. Is some unit in SI of this whatever is that unit. That is the vector. Calculate the electric flux through a surface of area 30 units. Now you see this S, take this area is S. The magnitude of this is equal to 30 units. And what is given in YZ plane, the surface is in YZ plane, right? So let me go through again the area vector. So an area of 30 unit, this is in the YZ plane, YZ. So let this is Y, this is Z, Y axis, Z axis. This is your X axis. And this is a 30 unit area. What is the area vector of this one? Perpendicular, upward, perpendicular, upward. So it is in YZ. Which axis is perpendicular upward? X axis. So its area vector is along X axis. If a surface YZ, a surface or a plane is in YZ plane, its area vector is along X axis. So if it is along X axis, if I write in a vector form, then this S is equal to vector form I can write. Along X axis, what is the vector? Along X axis, unit vector is I K. So along, what is the magnitude of this one? 30 magnitude into direction. What is this direction? Into unit vector. That much of units. That is the question. The aim of this question is to write this area vector. Then we will solve this flux. Now go to the formula for flux. Electric flux phi is equal to dot product of E dot S. E dot S. Phi is equal to E dot S. As you know, the dot product this one is this equal to E 3I cap minus 4J cap plus 5K cap dot product 30 I cap. If you make the dot product of this one, I dot I 1, I dot I 1, J dot I 0, K dot I 0, all are only 3 I cap dot 3 J cap. So 3 I cap dot 3 I cap. So that is equal to 3 into 30. I cap dot I cap is equal to 1. The others are what? J cap dot I cap is 0, K cap dot I cap equal to 0. So this is equal to 30 into 33 is equal to 90. I cap I is equal to 1. So this is equal to 90 units. That is the flux.
Discuss another problem. It is given a square is held parallel to YZ plane. In an electric field, it is where electric field E vector is equal to 2I cap plus 3J cap plus 5K cap. Suppose electric field to be measured like volt per meter or Newton per coulomb. It is found that the electric flux symbolized phi of 8 Newton meter square per coulomb is linked with the square. When calculate the length of each side of the square, suppose L be the length of each side of the square. If you take L be the length of each side of the square, area of the square is what? L square. So that plane area of the square to be held parallel to YZ plane. And keep in mind, parallel to YZ plane means the normal parallel to YZ plane is x-axis, and the unit vector along x-axis is I cap. Therefore, area vector of this square is L square I cap. Since flux is the dot product of electric field and the area vector, that is E is given 2I cap plus 3J cap plus 5K cap. Dot product of A vector means L square I cap. L square I cap. So it is phi is equal to 2 L square. Since I dot I is 1, other J dot I is 0, K dot I is 0, is equal to phi, or in place L square is equal to phi by 2. Phi is how much? 8. 8 by 2 is 4, or in place L is equal to square root of 4 is 2 as measured in SI unit it is 2 meter. So length of each side of the square is 2 meter. Clear?
Then come to the next question. S1 and S2 are two parallel concentric spheres enclosing charges Q and 2Q, respectively as shown in figure. Means S1 is a sphere, enclosed charge Q, S2 another sphere, enclosed charge 2Q. In between S1 and S2, the space between S1 and S2 sphere, it is enclosed by a charge 2Q. That is given as per the figure. Now the question first one is, what is the ratio of electric flux through S1 and S2? Okay. So first to find the electric flux through S1. According to Gauss law, electric flux through S1, I can write this as phi S1. That should be equal to net charge enclosed multiplied by 1 by epsilon times. So by the surface S1, what is the charge enclosed? Q. Because this 2Q is not enclosed by S1. So Q by epsilon naught. This is for S1. Now the sphere S2, what is the flux through S2? S2 is equal to the net charge enclosed by S2. The plus 2Q is enclosed, and what is enclosed by S2? Because they are concentric. S2 also enclosed S1, means it also enclosed this charge plus Q. So the net charge enclosed by this S2 is, I can say that is how much? 2Q plus Q, that is the net charge, 3Q. Divided by epsilon naught, that is by Gauss. Then what is the ratio? It is asked what is the ratio of electric flux through S1 and S2. Now you do this one, phi S1 flux through S1 divided by phi S2. The ratio is equal to Q by epsilon naught divided by 3Q by epsilon naught. You get 1 by 3. 1 is to 3. That is your first one. Clear? Now go to the second one. How will electric flux through the sphere S1? Let me put the second part. After this one. In the second part, how will electric flux through sphere S1 change? If a medium of dielectric constant phi is introduced in the space inside S1 in place of air. So forget about this S2. In the part 2, S2 is not given there. Come to the S1. In this region, initially air medium is there. Then as for your phi S1 for air medium for air, according to Gauss law, Q by epsilon naught. For air medium, permittivity of free space. If a medium of dielectric constant K is introduced, then the flux for any medium, same Gauss law, for any medium, same S1, if the dielectric constant K is introduced, so this permittivity phi by the permittivity of that medium, what is that permittivity left, that is epsilon. If it is epsilon, if you write that epsilon in terms of dielectric constant, that is equal to K epsilon naught. That is relative permittivity. Already you know this epsilon r, relative permittivity, that is equal to dielectric constant, which is equal to epsilon by epsilon naught. That is a formula. Already you know this one. According to this formula, this is the permittivity of the medium, permittivity of free space, relative permittivity or dielectric constant. So here what you will do for a medium? Q for air, Q by epsilon naught, for a medium, Q by epsilon. So Q by epsilon equal to epsilon r into epsilon naught or K into epsilon naught. So if you put this one, what is the charge enclosed by S1? Q, what is the dielectric constant? That is given how much? The dielectric constant is phi. So phi epsilon naught. That is the flux through S1. if the air medium is replaced by a dielectric of dielectric constant I. Okay, so dear, so students, this is the all of the problems. I think we have gone through the so many problems, 18 problems. We have gone through all this, and we thought that we have touched every part of the chapter electric field, blocks, and Gauss law and its application. We thought that we have complete. Then you go through different problems or books, and you try to solve. Already you talked about the different formula. What you gone through this whole topic, electric field, blocks, and Gauss law and its applications. Thank you.